Hey everybody, this is Peter with Tabletop Gaming Guild, and I'm coming to you today with another video on a product by Artelsorian Games for their tabletop role-playing game, Cyberpunk Red. So as you know, if you've watched any of our previous videos, they have sent us a few products to look at, and this is the final video that we're going to be doing on the product for Cyberpunk Red. And today is the Cyberpunk Red Netrunning deck. So this is a deck of cards all about making what the Netrunner does in your game and the net running abilities be a little bit more visual and a little bit more tactile, an easier way to understand what is happening. If you're a Netrunner, the core rule book has, I think, somewhere around 20 to 25 pages of rules specifically for the abilities and the things that you can do in the game. And that's a lot. No other role in the game has that much level of detail. And as I read through it, it's a part of the game that's a little harder for me to grasp and to understand. And so my hope is that this deck of cards here is going to help make that part of the game a little bit more easy to understand and to visualize. So we're going to open up this deck of cards. We'll see what's inside, and we'll see how it's supposed to help us play the game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take this down to the table. We're going to open up the box, see what's inside. All right, so we are down to the table with our Cyberpunk Red Netrunning deck. Cyberpunk Red Netrunning deck. When a Netrunner locates an access point and slots in, they enter a different world, a digital realm where black ice patrols virtual floors and demons stand ready to activate the defenses that'll flatline the crew in meat space. The Netrunning deck comes with all the cards a Cyberpunk Red campaign need to build a net architecture and run through it, straight to the bottom, including 15 program cards, 27 black ice cards, 3 demon cards, and 7 floor cards. Now, on the back of this box, we will also see a QR code, and it says, want to know more about how to use the Netrunning deck? Scan the code. This code right here is going to be absolutely necessary. You're going to want to scan this so that you can gain access to the PDF online that you can download to your computer to help you better understand how to utilize this deck, because the deck itself only comes with the cards. It does not come with an instruction manual or exactly how to utilize the deck of cards. So you're going to want to use that QR code. But without further ado, let's go ahead and open up this deck of cards. So we get the Cyberpunk Netrunning deck. This is the same for every card in the deck. That's the back of it. But the fronts of the cards are going to look a little bit different. So we do have, like the box said, we have 15 program cards. And so these program cards are mostly, I believe, going to be utilized as your for your player, or for the program that's going to be possibly attacking your player as well. So we have an eraser, which is a booster card, again, for your character's net deck. We have a Sia booster. We have a Speedy Gonzalez, a Worm booster, an Armor Defender, a Flak Defender, a Shield Defender. We have a Banhammer Attacker, a Sword Attacker, Deck Crash Attacker, Hellbolt Attacker, Nerve Scrub Attacker, a Poison Flatline Attacker, a Super Glue Attacker, and a Vrizbolt Attacker. So this deck here is going to mostly end up being utilized by the Netrunner in your game. These are the programs that they can have uploaded into their net deck when they go on a net run, and they're going to utilize these to boost their abilities, their defenses, their attacks as they go into the net and try to survive and find, hopefully, whatever it is that they have gotten into the net for. So these are the program cards. Then we have, again, like it said, a big list or a big stack of black ice cards. We have one here that's called the Asp. We have 2 of those. We have a Giant. We have a few Hellhounds. We have Krakens, a Lich, a Raven, couple of those, Scorpion, Skunk, few of those, a wisp, few of those, a dragon, a couple of those, a killer, and a saber tooth. So each one of these cards are going to have, or types of cards, they're going to have different statistics down here at the bottom. They're going to have a little description that you can read as well. And these are going to be the ones that your player character are coming up against as they go through the net. These are acting as defenses in the net, and again, can possibly hurt your net runner during their portion of the game. And then a little bit tougher than just these black ice are the demons that are also in this deck. We have an imp, we have an Efreet, and we have a Balron. A couple of these names definitely sounding familiar. Balron, if you're thinking maybe a little Lord of the Rings there. An Efreet is kind of another name for, I think, like almost like a genie almost, I think. And then the imp as well. So these are demons. These are definitely going to have some higher numbers on them for their stats and for the way that they can interact against the player. And then we have the floor cards. So these are the different floors that the player may be interacting with. Some of them are going to be passwords. We see control nodes. We see files, and a couple more passwords. So that's everything that comes actually in this box. We have the floor cards, we have the program cards, we have the black ice cards, and we have the demon cards. So that's everything that's in the box. But don't forget, on the back of the box, we have the QR code, and the QR code is going to be everything you need, hopefully, to understand how to utilize this deck. But I can show you a little bit right now what there's going to be, or a way to set this up. And to do that, I'm actually going to utilize one of the other items that were sent to us by our Talsorian Games. And I did a video on this as well. And this is the Interface Red, a collection for Cyberpunk Red Enthusiast Volume 1. And the reason I'm going to use this is they did an article, and in the article, they showcased some pre-generated net architecture. And so this one here is specifically a security that your netrunner may run into. And it kind of shows you how to utilize the cards a little bit, because the idea here would be that you would utilize here the password card for floor 1, shows you password floor 1, and it shows you the difficulty value. So you would utilize the difficulty value 6 on this card. And the way that the game works is if your netrunner knows the password, then they don't have to worry about this. Otherwise, they'll be making a skill check to try to reach the difficulty value to surpass the password. If they surpass the password, this gets turned sideways and they can go down to the next floor. The next floor here indicates that we're going to have a black ice wisp. And so you can just go through your cards and find a wisp, and then utilize this card here with your player so that they can see a little bit what that would look like. So it gives a description, and it says it does 1d6 damage directly to the net runner's brain and lowers the amount of total net actions the net runner can accomplish on their next turn by 1 with a minimum of 2. So your net runner will go up against this black ice, making skill checks and attacks against this creature, and against this creature would then also possibly have the opportunity to do some damage to them. If they would end up getting past this creature, then you're going to flip it upside down, indicating that it has been defeated, and then they can go down to the final level of this architecture, which is a control node, where they will have to once again figure out and defeat the difficulty value of the control node. And if they can get that, they gain the control node of this ground drone. So they've gained access and overrun this ground drone and now they have control over it. So that is just a quick example of how to possibly utilize this deck of cards by building this net architecture. When your player first sees it, everything is going to probably be upside down until they gain access to the net. Once they gain access to the net, they're going to see the first floor, and they're going to see that it's password protected. And then after that, they do have some abilities that are going to allow them to see what is coming ahead. If they don't end up utilizing that ability, then each level would end up being a surprise. But if they utilize those abilities, they're going to get to see what they're going up against, and then they will go ahead and tackle it. And these, the net architecture can be very small to very large and complex. But again, that is one of the things that I really liked about this previous book that we did a video on, and that is that it gives you multiple net architectures to possibly utilize. Anything, again, as easy as just a 3-floor model all the way up to 6 floors or 3 floors, but within like offshoots down the floors, to even just really large 9 floors as well for your characters, to your Netrunner to go up against. So that was me just wanting to use the Interface Red book to showcase how to utilize a little bit the cards that come in the Cyberpunk Red Netrunning deck. There is, again, the PDF online that you're going to want to use the scan QR code to download, and it's going to give you more examples than what I just gave you utilizing the book. But I thought visually using the book to show you a little bit how to use this Netrunning deck would be helpful. So this is, I think, a really great product. And now that we've taken a quick look at what's inside the box, we're going to come up from the table and I'll give you my final thoughts on the Cyberpunk Red Netrunning deck. All right, everybody, we're back up from the table. We've taken a look at the deck for the Netrunning deck for Cyberpunk Red. And I'm just going to be totally honest. I think if you're going to be running or playing in the game Cyberpunk Red, I think that this is a must purchase, because it's going to take a part of the game that can be kind of hard to understand exactly how you want to implement it. And this is going to make it much easier. Again, it's a little tough because the deck is only one part of what is here. There is, like I talked about in the video earlier, there is the downloadable instruction manual for the deck, which I think you're going to really want to download and utilize. There is, again, the QR code on the back of the box to make that possible. So you're going to want to do that when you get this deck. You're going to download that, use that QR code, download that document, and go over that, comparing it with the rules in the book, in either the core rule book or in the Jumpstart kit, to understand a little bit better about what you're going to be using these cards for. But as long as you purchase the box and you download the document from our Talsorian's website, then I think you're going to be good to go. And I do think that it's a must purchase for somebody who is running or playing in Cyberpunk Red, especially if your focus is the Netrunner role and their Netrunning abilities. So everybody, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope it helped you decide whether or not you need to get this. And again, my recommendation is you should, if you're going to be playing the game. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like or subscribe to the channel. If you're going to go get the deck, head on over to our Talsorian's website and purchase it there, or check with your local game store to see if maybe they have a copy or if they can get a copy in for you. And don't forget to check out tabletopgamingguild.com, where you can listen to our podcast and you can check out other things that we've been getting up to. You can check out the other videos here on our YouTube channel. We've played board games, we review them, we do unboxings, we talk about role-playing games. So hopefully we have something that will interest you. And again, thank you for watching, everybody. And until we talk again, keep on playing games.